Welcome to another science video lesson class. From our earlier lesson, we look at forces and its various types. But today, we are focusing only on frictional force. By the end of the lesson, we should be able to 1. Explain the term friction. 2. Identify at least 3 effects of friction. 3. State at least 3 applications of friction. Meaning of frictional force. What is frictional force anyway? Frictional force, it is a force which opposes the movement of two surfaces against each other. Let's look at this activity or situation. When we look at this picture, you can see that there's something going on. What is going on? You can see a human hand rubbing the two hands together. So it's one type of situation in which friction can be observed. Frictional force occurs between the palms when they are put together and rubbed. So when you put your two hands together and you begin to rub the two hands against each other, definitely frictional force is going to be created. So as I said earlier, frictional force occurs when two objects are put together and rubbed. Let us look at another activity which also demonstrates frictional force. Let us look at this moving car. It's a nice car. Let's see whether frictional force can also be created. Frictional force occurs between the tires of a car and the ground when the brake is applied. This moving car you see here, as soon as the driver applies brake, suddenly, or you see that the car stops moving. What caused that? It's because of the friction. The friction between the car tires and the ground causes car or moving object to stop moving. The next activity, when you look at this gentleman, you can see that he is pushing something on the ground. And that particular thing is a box. Now let's look at something here. When a box, as you can see here, is pushed on the ground, frictional force occurs between the bottom of the box and the ground. So as he pushes the box on the ground, frictional force definitely occurs. The next activity is look at this carpenter. What is he doing here? He's driving the nail into the wood. Can driving a nail into the wood create or cause frictional force? Yes. When we hammer a nail into a piece of wood, frictional force occurs between the wood and the nail. When he hits the head of the nail side by side into the wood, frictional force occurs. So another activity or situation in which frictional force is observed is hammering a nail into a wood. What have we learned? We have learned about frictional force. And frictional force is a force which opposes the movement. We've also looked at situations in which frictional force is observed. And some of them are rubbing hands, moving car or objects. And the last one, hammering a nail into a piece of wood. Thank you.